sorry, Jada. I forgot to cut the recording on. We're looking at the coefficient, combined like terms worksheet. Alright, so, for number 3, I've got n minus 10 plus 9n minus 3. Whenever I just have this n right here, how many n's is that? It's just 1. So there's not a number in front of it, but I can put a 1 there if I want. So if you ever have a variable without a number, it has an understood 1 there. Yes, you can call it a placeholder. Yes. So, what do you think?
You do 9 plus 3 plus 1?
No. Not. Does that 3 right there have an n with it? No. So we're not going to do the 3. Marley, what should we do? Alright, so the 1n and the 9n. Notice how I'm putting this block around here? I'm including the sign in front of the number, right? There's nothing in front of this 1, but that means it's positive. And this is a positive 9. So what do I get when I combine my n's, Marley? 10n. And then I'm going to combine the negative 10 and the negative 3. Notice I'm including that sign in front of the number. What do we get whenever we do that, Marley? Negative 10 and negative 3. You owe me $10, and then you borrow $3 more. Negative 13. Yeah. Yeah. Okay? Questions? Let's look at the last one I had to do there. Negative 4x minus 10x. Passion, help me with this one. Can I combine those two terms? Do they have the same variables? Yes, same variables because these two pieces right here are alike. So I can combine them. So that means I got a negative 4x and a negative 10. What am I going to get if I have negative 4 and negative 10 I'm putting together? Negative 14, good. And we'll keep the x with it, negative 14x, good. Okay, questions? Alright, flip over to the back. I want us to do a couple of these harder ones. So you can see, let's do 21 together. Alright, so I got negative 4 plus 7 times 1 minus 3m. This time I got those sets of parentheses. What do I have to do? What do you think, Wade?
Well, you can't really do anything inside the
Exactly. I like the way he said that. He said you can't really do anything inside of the parentheses because can we put 1 and 3m together? No, this one does not have an m. This one does. So I can take this number that's right outside of the parentheses and I can distribute it. That means I'm multiplying here. So my negative 4 would just hang out front. I'd do 7 times 1, which would give me 7. And then I would also do 7 times negative 3m, and that'd give me negative 21m. It is okay to multiply if you do not have like terms, but you can't add or subtract. So now, Vince, do I have anything that I can combine? Anything that can go together here? I cannot put anything with this m right here. It's the only one. But what about this negative 4 and the positive 7? Can I put those together? Okay, what will I get whenever I do that? It's going to be positive because that 7 is bigger. Positive 3. Positive 3. Positive 3 minus 21m. Yeah, we're taking these expressions and condensing them down. We're not solving yet.
Okay.
On this worksheet, you're not solving, but after you do this for a little bit, then we'll come back and do some equations where we're solving. So we're just practicing making sure we can put these together correctly first. Let's do number 23 because it messes students up sometimes. Alright, I've got parentheses, but do I have anything on the outside of the parentheses? Nothing there except for a minus sign, right? So if there's nothing there, what number can I put when there's nothing there? A 1, right? So I've got a -1 is what I'm distributing. I'm not distributing that -2 in. It's separated way far out. It's not right next to the parentheses touching it. So I'm taking this -1 and I'm going to multiply both of these by -1. So the -2 just hangs out front. -1 times 9, -9, so we're going to put a -9 since it's negative. And -1 times -10n, it's going to be positive 10n. Okay? So Caroline, is there anything that I can combine now?
Interesting question.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so this -2n and this positive 10n can go together. What am I going to get when I put those together, Caroline? 8n. And then we'll just put the -9 over here at the end. Okay, questions? Alright, I want you to work on this for about 15 minutes or so. No, this is classwork, so get done now. It shouldn't take too long. Alright. So today we're going to be doing multi-step equations, but today I'm only going to give you problems with variables on one side. So they'll be a little bit more simple than the ones we'll look at tomorrow where we got variables on both sides. Also, while I'm thinking of it, let me remind you, you guys are going to have a quiz tomorrow. It is a short quiz just for me to check how you're doing. It's going to be 8 questions. There are 1-step equations, 2-step equations, and then there'll be a couple variable on multi-step with variables on one side. So most of them will be like what we did yesterday and the day before. There will be a few like we're doing today. All right. Okay. We're gonna skip this because we already did the kind-like terms. We're gonna skip that first part right there. So I want you to just write down your solving multi-step equations directions. And actually, I'm gonna change it. I'm gonna go ahead and give you. Well, no, just step 3. Leave that blank for right now. We're not gonna do it today, but there is a step 3 here, so leave it blank for today. hopefully I have given you enough time to get these down. If I ever move on too quickly for you, I am recording this and I'm posting it to Canvas, so you can always, if you need to go back and look, you can get those there or borrow it from somebody later. First thing you're going to do is distribute. If necessary, some problems you don't have to distribute on. The second thing you're going to do is combine like terms on each side of the equation. There's going to be a third step whenever we start tomorrow looking at having variables on both sides, but today you're not going to have to worry about that. And then the fourth step, once you do 1 and 2, you should be down to either a 1 or 2 step equation that you can solve like we've been doing over the past couple days. Okay? So here is our first example. So, to solve this, the first thing we're going to do, if we can, is distribute. Can we distribute here? No. Alright, so the second thing we want to do is combine like terms on either side of the equation. So, Hank, do I have any like terms that I can combine on the left-hand side? Okay, what do I get when I put those together? I'll get 5x. Here, of course, there's nothing to combine on the other side because it's just a 25. So once you've combined, now you're going to solve the 1 or 2 step equation. In this case, it's just a 1-step equation. Hank, how would I solve this one? Okay, so I'm going to divide both sides by 5, which cancels right here, so x equals 5. Okay, questions? Alright, try this next one. Or, well, write down this next one. We'll do it together. Okay, Vince, I'm going to get you to help me on this one. What would I do first? What? You're distributing. So that means you're going to multiply the 3 times 2x. What do we get there, Vince? Good. And then 3 times the negative 4. What do we get there? Negative 12, so we'll put a minus 12 here, and this equals 24. Alright, so Vince, do we have any like terms that we can combine on the left-hand side? No, not this time because the 12 does not have an x with it, right? So now I'm just down to a 2-step equation that I can solve like I was doing last night. So what would I do first here? Perfect. So we're going to add 12. And so we'll get, good? And then what's the last step, Vince? I'll let you do the next one, Passion. I like your enthusiasm. We're going to divide. And what do we get for our answer, Vince? Good. Okay, questions? Yeah, it's like a 2-step equation. It's just got that one little thing at the beginning that you got to do for this one. So it's not that much more. All right, let's go to the next one. Passion, I'm going to let you help me with this one. What would I do first? Is there anything I can distribute? No. Alright, are there any terms I can combine on that right-hand side? Over here.
Okay, so.
Yeah.
Isn't it
The 2n and the 3n. Is that 3n positive or negative? Take the sign in front of it, okay? So we got a negative 3n. So, Passion, if I've got 2n and negative 3n, what am I going to get when I put those together? Not 5. Negative 1. Okay? And then we just bring down that negative 5. Right? Because we combine these two to get negative 1n. Just bring down that negative 5. There. Okay? So, now, I'm down just to a two-step equation. So what would I do next? Okay, and how do I get rid of that 5? I'm going to add it because it's a minus 5. So to undo that, I'm going to put a plus 5. What's that? That's going to give me 15 equals negative 1n. And then Passion. Good, because we're going to divide both sides by negative 1. And we get negative 15 equals n. Good job. Okay. Questions? Alright, this is sort of like our most complicated example we're going to have. If she hadn't just done the last one, I would make her do it for volunteering you, Katie, but she did just do the last one, so I won't make her do that.
You think I want to do the hardest one?
Let's see. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. Alright, Julian's going to do this one. Tell us what to do. He can do it.
You distribute the negative 3x to the x, it's a negative 3x, and then
Does it go to the 10? When I distribute, do I distribute it to the 10? No, because it's not inside the parentheses, right? So what will I get after I distribute, Julian?
you'll get negative 3x,
Good?
and then negative 15.
Are you sure about that?
It's positive, negative.
Positive. Because the signs are the same, negative times negative. And then we just carry down this plus 10.
Yeah, and then
Okay? Are there any things that we can combine on that left-hand side now, Julian? Are you sure about that?
You got it. Come on.
15 and
15
10.
and 10 can be put together. So negative 3x, what do we get when we put those two together?
You'll get 25
Good. Should I put plus 25 or minus 25?
plus 25.
Plus because it's positive. Okay.
And then you add you subtract 25.
Wonderful. Positives and negatives. What's that going to be? Positive 1, negative 25.
26. Is it negative 24?
It is negative 24. You have $1 in the bank. You spend $25. How much money's in the bank now? Negative 24. This is the problem for you, right? So,
And then you divide
do I divide by 24?
3.
3. I divide by the one that's next to the x. So divide by negative 3. And what is negative 24 divided by negative 3, Julian?
Positive
8. That's right. Remember on these, I'm not going to make you do it on every one, but on your quiz, it's a good idea to think about this. Negative 3 times 8 minus 5 plus 10. I want to see if this really does equal 1. So to check your work, just do order of operations. 8 minus 5 is 3, so negative 3 times 3 plus 10. Negative 3 times 3 is negative 9 plus 10. Negative 9 plus 10 does equal 1, so you know that you're right. So you can plug these back in to check your answers. It's a good idea on the quiz, especially, to do that whenever it matters a little bit more. If you're correct or not. Alright, questions. Alright, so homework tonight is 10 questions. I think a lot of you will be able to finish this before you leave. There is no backside tonight, Marley, so you're safe. Alright, so go ahead and get started here. You still got about 25 minutes, so I think a lot of you can get this done. You must show work tonight, okay? You must show work. If you just have numbers written down, I am not giving you credit. You must show work. We are resetting mental math capabilities here. Yes. Can I help you? All right, everybody, make sure you're working on this. Show your work. Come on. Come on. No. It would be quicker.
You need a calculator, Peyton? Imagine needing a calculator.
Oh, I forgot to show you something. I'll show you here in a second. I'll show you in a second. I forgot to show you how to do one thing. Sorry, Jada.